We're back in the theaters, and the first film that I saw this year, 2024, was Argyle. So today I thought it was time for me to stop and talk about Argyle. Please note that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion, and you're free to comment down below. What did you think of the film Argyle? Please don't forget to check out that Twitter. That link is in the description, as well as that TikTok. That link is also in the description as well. And with all that being said, guys, let's get right into our review.
I certainly hope you dance as well as you dress.
There's only one way to find out.
Argyle is in my top 10 anticipated films of the year. So with that being said, let's move right into the good. And the good thing that comes to mind here is that I appreciated the fact that this film had so many twists and turns. I mean, thanks to the trailers, we inherently received automatic intrigue to this film's plot.
It's time for you to meet the real Agent Argyle.
That one line right there got me so hyped to see what type of film this was actually going to be. So going into it, that anticipation was there. Constantly, the scenes where Henry Cavill played a role provided some great throwback spy thriller stuff, really honing into the fact that he lost out on being Bond. But also, I just love the fact that how creative this film is. I mean, obviously we're going to draw comparisons to Romancing the Stone or The Lost City that came out in 2022, but I mean, The Lost City for me just didn't work. And I heard a lot of people say, because I've never seen Romancing the Stone, I heard a lot of people say that it is a beat for beat ripoff of Romancing the Stone, whereas I've heard people say that this is a complete detour, or not even a complete detour. It's inspired by Romancing the Stone, but it is not exactly Romancing the Stone, and it's not exactly The Lost City. It kind of does some different things in there. So I have not seen, Romancing the Stone, so I wouldn't really know. But at the end of the day, I would say that Argyle was pretty creative in the end. And I love the fact how creative some of the action sequences were as well. I also found Sam Rockwell to be pretty fun. He's not your typical spy, and they make that perfectly clear. And I liked Bryce Dallas Howard. Her role is bigger in the film than you think, by the way. And I just love the fact that these two characters, they seem believable, but at the same time, they're totally different from the other type of casting that they've done in the past and the other type of roles that they've acted in the past. It's completely different from anything that we've seen these two actors before, but also they find a way to make it completely believable in the end. I think for its idea and premise, it followed up on what the marketing promised, a spy thriller that also works as a mystery. And for that, I got exactly what I wanted for the most part. There's a distinct vibe, a distinct tone that they make very clear early on in the film, and they keep that same tone throughout the entire movie. But with all that being said, I don't have any mixed here, so let's move right into the bad. And the bad thing that comes to mind here is that it just goes on for too long, man. I actually wrote this review before I watched Sean Chandler's review, and the moment he said it's just too long, I agree. Like, literally, that's exactly what I wrote. It goes on for too long. Because once the mystery is resolved, we have another 50 minutes left of runtime. There is also a romance in this film. Again, this is kind of like Romancing the Stone, kind of like The Lost City. And it didn't come out of left field for me, but I think they worked best as partners. You can kind of tell what the romance, who the romance is between, but I just felt like, oh, really? Oh, you, okay, yeah, you loved them. All right, cool. I really just love the idea of them just being partners, great partners, instead of it being a romance. In the movie, just like they say in the book, the film kind of doesn't stick the landing. For the most part, this movie has been kind of pretty grounded, and then once we get into the end, it just goes off the rails. It just keeps escalating, and you kind of don't feel like the film stuck the landing by the end. This movie is inspired by a book that came out this year, but we don't know who the author is. But the author of this book, the pseudonym of the author of this book, this really real book, is a character in the movie. It's so weird. What is this even based off of? I'm going to give a little bit of spoiler here, but by the end of the film, they say, end of book 1. I don't even think this is the actual ending of the first book. And also, what is even the point? Is this going to be a franchise now? Like, what is here? We're going back to some other Matthew Vaughn movies. Like, what is even the point of Argyle by the end of it? And I kind of felt like I was robbed a little bit of a great movie by the end, because I felt like the Henry Cavill scenes would have been a better movie for me. For a person like me, the Henry Cavill scenes work better as the spy thriller than the spy thriller is happening in the book as the author is writing it. In conclusion, Argyle delivered exactly what the trailers promised for me. It didn't deliver the type of film that I wanted per se, but it definitely delivered what the trailers promised. A mystery and a spy thriller with Sam Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard and Henry Cavill thrown in the mix. The film worked when it dealt with the espionage and the incredible plot twist. I thought the plot twist was actually pretty cool. But we just had so many plot twists that at some point it just became numbing. But for some reason, it just truly never stuck the landing for me. And after the initial mystery was resolved, it just kept going longer than it needed to be. I still had fun with the movie, but again, I don't want to walk out of a movie every time saying it was fun. I had a fun time. I think schlocky movies like Anyone But You and Fast and Furious, yeah, those are movies I'm going to walk out of always saying they're fun because they know exactly what they are. They're goofy Taco Bell movies. Jurassic World, they're dumb movies. Argyle, though, I was not expecting it to be a dumb movie. I wasn't expecting it to be a movie that knows exactly what it is and is having a fun time being goofy. But at the end of the day, I still say I had fun. With that being said, I'm going to give Argyle a B-. I know a lot of people go C+. It was either C+ or B- for me. I didn't laugh, but I had an enjoyable time with Argyle. So I will say it is a B-. And I would say it's a 7.9 out of 10. And I would say there's enough here. There's enough substance here for anyone that's like me to enjoy. Alright guys, that is it for the review. Please know that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion, and you're free to comment down below. What did you think of the film Argyle? Please don't forget to check out that Twitter. That link is in the description, as well as that TikTok. That link is also in the description as well. With all that being said, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Peace.